he has promised to take questions on Slack. All right, so our final talk for this session is on long-term monitoring of birds in Aralam Wildlife Sanctuary in Kerala. And this is a talk by Sashikumar. Unfortunately, he will also not be available to take live questions, but you can post questions for him on Slack. We'll try to get him to answer these on Slack. So if we can have the video for Sashikumar.
Good afternoon all. This presentation is about the long-term bird monitoring we have been conducting in Aralam Wildlife Sanctuary, Kerala for the last 20 years. Aralam is a small wildlife sanctuary situated in the Kannur district of North Kerala. It's just 55 square kilometers in area, mostly evergreen forest, but there are some plantations and semi-evergreen patches also. In 2000, a group of birdwatchers based in Kannur sat together and discussed the possibility of doing a survey in Aralam Wildlife Sanctuary, which area was ornithologically totally unexplored till then. So Jafar Palot, who was working with ZSI, Pramod, who is now working with SACON, Jayakumar of the Tunnel organization, and myself. We discussed the matter, and we met Ms. Sheikh Haider Hussain, who was the wildlife warden of the sanctuary at that time, and he was very much interested, and he encouraged us to start the survey. So from the conceptual stage itself, we decided that the methodology should be very simple, but it should be scientific also, repeatable, the results of which could be analyzed and all that. So as most of the participants will be ordinary birdwatchers, so if they miss the joy of birdwatching by conducting survey in a rigid methodology, it will be counterproductive. So Dr. Pramod designed the survey. This is the methodology. This is the methodology we have been adopting right from the beginning itself. The sanctuary was divided into 4 blocks, mostly according to the habitat and logistic accessibility also. And mostly the survey methodology was encounter transect. That 1 kilometer transect had to be covered in 1 hour and the birds recorded. Each block will have 4 such transects, which will be repeated for 2 days, and in all during a survey we'll get 8 samples from 1 block and 40 samples from the whole sanctuary. So we made it sure that at least 4 knowledgeable birdwatchers were there in each block for the team. So we had a printed data sheet for recording the bird sightings. The survey was conducted in the second weekend of March, so that the participants will have holidays, 2 days holiday in that weekend. And during March, most of the resident birds will be having their breeding activities, and they'll be quite conspicuous And the migratory birds also will be present at that time of the year. Usually the bird watchers will assemble at the headquarters of the sanctuary at Valentia by the noon of Friday, and in the afternoon there will be a meteorology briefing of meteorology and introductory session, and the teams for each base camps will be assigned. The teams will be transported to the base camps that evening itself, and the actual transit survey will take place in the mornings of Saturday and Sunday. By Sunday noon, all the team will return to the to the sanctuary headquarters, and we'll have a joint session, and all the teams will give back their findings, and will compile a local list and also the complete list of birds for the sanctuary. And after that, there will be lunch and the teams will be dispersed. So we have been conducting survey for the last 20 years. In 2018, it was not possible because there were some forest fires and some other problems. And in 2020, as you all know, because of the pandemic, more than 100 bird watchers have participated in this survey so far, and they have recorded 236 species of birds, including 14 globally threatened birds and 18 Western Ghats endemics, including the rare and very rare Balanzura laughing thrush. After 10 years, survey was done. Dr. Pramod analyzed the data of these 10 years, and the results were published as a book published by the sanctuary authorities. The data of the second decade is yet to be analyzed. And now we have uploaded most of our old data in the eBird platform. And for the last two surveys, we have been directly uploading the bird list in the through eBird app. This is the cover of that book the sanctuary published. The photograph of the Sri Lanka frogmouth with a chick was taken by the wildlife warden of the sanctuary, Sri K.V. Uttaman. These are the trends of the 4 most abundant species we have found in the survey. You see, it's most of at least 2 species are showing no fluctuation, only slight fluctuations at all, but a stable population. But at least 2 are showing some decline, which I'll talk more about it later. See, these are the 2 species that are showing very much decline: small sunbird and greenish leaf warbler. Probably Aralam bird survey is quite unique in India. I don't know whether in any other sanctuary such a survey is being conducted continuously. And a lot of young birders have been participating in these surveys every year, and they get a good opportunity to interact with the senior birders and become more knowledgeable in identifying forest birds and bird calls, etc. And we must thank all these birders for the success of the survey. All the officials, wildlife wardens, range officers, to the watchers, were wonderfully supporting the survey, and we wish we will be able to do more survey in the sanctuary in the coming years. So once we analyze the whole data for the complete period, we'll get a lot of new insight on the bird life of Aralam. Thank you all.
All right. Thanks, Sashikumar. And please continue to post questions for Sashikumar on Slack. We hope that he'll join us and answer your questions there on Slack.